There's actually one job I do need to do today, and that's on the hot tub cover. And it's coming apart at the seams, literally coming apart at the seams. So I ordered some heavy duty thread from Amazon, and it came with some needles, so I'm gonna open that up and see if I can pull it together. This was a custom ordered cover that cost between $700 and $900. And to try and salvage it, I'm gonna try and sew it up myself with the materials I bought on Amazon. And I'm gonna walk you through step by step just how I did this. If you can see here, this is the part of the cover that's starting to fall apart. Here we've got some of the tape that I had put on actually a couple months ago now. It's still kind of on there. But you can see here, this outer shell and kind of the underneath, they were sewn together kind of like that. Now they're falling apart, some of the old thread. So I've got to figure out how this was kind of wrapped up and then sew that. This side's worse than that side. So I think I'll tackle this one first. Got this off Amazon. I really wanted to just get something locally at Joann Fabrics. It was going to be about 1/3 of the cost for the thread, and I had needles, but I just couldn't get down there. Spool of bonded polyester black, and then we've got a couple needles, one straight needle and one hook needle, which I think I might try the hook needle because this is so thick. It's not leather, but it is thick, just like leather. So I think I'll double it up. So what that means is instead of just getting this through the needle and having, one piece form all my stitching, I'm gonna do it twice. I'll show you. So I'm gonna do that. And I don't know the correct terminology for sewing or stitching. I do know how to sew a couple buttons, but as far as using a sewing machine or anything like that, that's not really my bag. This was done with a machine in the factory, so it's going to be far better than what I can manage. For those who know sewing terminology, I'm doing a basic hemming stitch where I just create loops from one piece of the material to the other in a bit of a circular motion going top to bottom, pulling tightly as I go. But this is a lot of work. Why not just buy a new cover? Well, this cover, for some reason, is a custom size and cost over $700. It's lasted just over a year. So I'm thinking, if I buy a new cover, am I going to be in the same thing, only get a year out of it? Typically, if a guest breaks a cover, if they jump on it or whatever, and we can prove it, we can get paid by Airbnb or VRBO, or the insurance that they cover it. Nobody broke this. This is just coming apart, so it's coming out of our pocket. And I just don't really want to have to foot the cost now. I'd like to get at least the remainder of this year out of it into summer 2025. These covers are made with an EPS foam insulation core wrapped with a vinyl cover. And because we're in the Northeast, we chose to do additional insulation, thus creating a thicker cover, which might be the root cause of why these seams are tending to bust out. Now, if Dr. Frankenstein were sewing a hot tub cover, it would probably look something like this. Although it's not terrible. There's stitching there, stitching all the way down to here, where we had all these pieces really like folding together. So it got incredibly thick by the time I got back up to the top. It was going through about 6 layers of this material. But I'd say all in all, it's gonna be pretty good as long as that stitching holds up and doesn't tear anymore and continue to rupture down the seam. Will be good. You can see up here where these are all starting to pop out, but I think before that one lets go, I can loop it all through here just like I did, make new stitches, and it'll be good to go. The same is happening on the other side, but not nearly as significantly as right here. So I think this is going to be good for today. We're going to move on to another project.